here in Bangalore and I'm at Commercial Street. It's one of the busiest areas here in town. It's been a long time since I was here last. So I'm going to show you around. And we're going to try and cross the road.
ಮನಸ್ಸು ಆಸೆ ತುಂಬಿದ ಕಣಜ ಮೋಹದಿಂದ ದುಃಖವು ಸಹಜ ನಶ್ವರ ಕಾಯ ಈಶ್ವರನೇ ಗತಿ ಮರೆಯದಿರಯ್ಯ ಗತಿ ಪಡೆಯೋ ಸುಖಂ ಶಾಶ್ವತ ದೇಹವೆಂದರೆ ಓ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಮೂಢ ಮಾಂಸಗಳ ಕಡಿಕೆ ನಿಜ
Bangalore is a bustling metropolis here in the south of India. It's really warm. It's about 37-40 degrees maybe Celsius, and it's midday, so it's not as busy as it will be later in the evening. But this is one of the commercial streets here, and it's in fact called Commercial Street. And here we are. This place is crazy busy. It's busy. And so you've got to be able to navigate yourself through the traffic. And here we are in some kind of a kitchen section. This is the kitchen market. A lot of kitchen stuff. Hey, this is Ian, and I'm here in Bengaluru. I'm headed to the airport, and I just wanted to take a few minutes before I reach to talk to you about something. So I was here for Nasscom's 2019 GCC Conclave. This is global capacity centers. This is a segment of industry where large multinational companies have been operating with their operations, their back-end operations in India for almost 3 decades now. But then 30 years forward, these back office operations have really turned into giant operations, and they're literally powering the industry through innovation, talent, and a lot of those things that India is able to produce. So the GCC is no longer a small operating unit within the company, but it's a unit that's making a huge difference when it comes to engineering, research, development, and so on. And so Nasscom is the association of technology providers here in India, and with over 2,500 members, and it's really one of the most engaging and intense organizations here. So here we are in Bangalore, and the conference was very interesting because, first of all, it had a really strong attendance, and over 750 delegates from across different technology companies in India, and from all parts of India. And really everybody wants to know about the trends of the future, but not only just that, but what are the best practices. How can GCCs play a much pivotal role in aligning with the mission, the objective, and the goal of the main companies, the mothership, if you will, and what is the future for GCCs in terms of talent, in terms of growth, and in terms of all the different things that are possible. Now, India is set to become the biggest nation in the world in the next few years. By 2023 or 2025, the population in general is expected to overtake that of China, which means a larger talent pool that's able to speak English, that's multicultural, that's been doing business internationally for more than 50 years. And so India is at a very nice place to be, and the cards India is holding are really great. A lot of talent in the West or in Europe or South Asia, it comes from India, because the quality of engineers, the quality of people who work within the industry is amazing. And so when you have many more people graduating, you have a bigger talent pool in the next 10 years. That literally is going to, I would say, explode the opportunities for these GCCs here to provide more services, for companies to expand their operations here in India, create a much larger base, and because it's conducive to doing business, and also for GCCs to play a bigger role in helping the motherships understand where they should be going, rather than just be an operating unit, but help them understand where to go. So there's all these things happening within the industry. Now, the questions people have are the questions that industry has are the same as what anybody would have. It's emerging technologies. How is that changing the role of GCCs? How can GCCs leverage artificial intelligence, blockchain, the Internet of Things? What impact does the new generation have on recruiting, and how does how's the workplace changing? And these are questions from every single industry that I specifically speak in. Everybody has the same questions, and so GCCs are not alone. Some of the answers are interesting, because you might believe that India as a technology powered company where all the talent comes from, and India powers a huge talent base in the world. It's easy for India to incorporate technology and that everybody here probably knows everything about everything, but that's not the case. Within organizations, within companies, it's not as easy as that, and everybody is not a blockchain expert, everybody is not doing POCs, and there's that challenge of breaking through that ceiling of saying, hey, we are capable of doing these POCs, let's do it, or let's be the first ones to do it. There are some themes that for me definitely resonate in terms of changes that need to be done. I mean, my observations and my research and conversations that took place during the event here's something that I noted. I really believe that leadership within organizations in India, leadership within companies in India needs to take a little bit of a different stance, and maybe it's a cultural shift. Maybe we need to go more from being able to manage the people that you're directly managing to influencing the industry in general. Of course, associations like Nasscom, this is what they do, this is their job. They bring people together, they dictate policy, they help in shaping how India works with the rest of the world. But I think there's a greater need for CEOs and group heads and country heads here in India to take a different stance and create leadership so that they can drive the industry more rather than only focus on what they're doing and how their unit and how their business can be profitable. That's one big thing that on a leadership side needs to be done any given day. I talked about the 7 axioms of value creation in my session, which really is about it's partnerships, accountability, value creation, learning. These are some of the points. People is a big element in that as well, and I think all of these things, if enabled in a correct way, can help unlock some incredible talent, some incredible value within the industry, and solve some problems and lay down the foundation for the next decades to come. In terms of people, there's this ongoing or an emerging need for a more work-life balance, and that's something that's not good. Completely imaginable that the technology industry works under a lot of stress. There's a lot of competition, and I based on my conversations and observations, I think it's time that organizations focus a little bit more on the people side and try and create a little bit more work-life balance, if you will. Now that happens in many different ways. It's not just giving employees incentives, but really creating a better definition of work. Now technology can definitely help with a lot of that. AI can automate many things that we do today at work that completely can be taken away. So that's one of the things that I would say the digital transformation side of technology enablement can do for the GCCs is create efficiency, but not because you want to be more productive and now you want to get people to do more work, but to actually reduce the workload, get people to live a better life, get them to spend more time with family. And this has been an ongoing fight between the enterprise and the employee as to how to get that balance going. The challenge is that the more stressed out your workplace is going to be, it's going to be hard to retain people, to retain talent, and companies spend a lot of money training talent and bringing them on board and doing all of that. But if you're losing to people who are burning out or who cannot perform, then it's a big challenge and a problem that'll bite GCCs in the next few years or the next decade, and that'll not be nice. So I think the time is right now to add that element of a much better work environment, much better work-life balance, to help the workforce cope with all the stress that they're dealing with. As the new generations come into work, as millennials or anybody else from the next or the post-millennial generation comes into work, they have a specific, they have different needs, they have different requirements from all the other generations that have been at work. And some of the priorities may not be the same. They, of course, live in a world of a service-driven world, from Uber to Airbnb and whatnot. And so they have different priorities, and I don't think overworking themselves to death is one at all. And so I think that needs to be addressed, not just here in India, but in any growing and developing country, in America, in Canada, in the UK. We all need to figure out a way to create much better balance. I see Scandinavian countries doing a much better job at it, specifically Denmark, Norway, Finland. There's a huge, there's definitely a much better work-life balance. Parts of Spain, of course, Italy as well. But there's other issues in these places. It's not work-life balance. Yeah, and so those are some of my thoughts and observations. I'm looking forward to being here, back here in Bengaluru shortly. There's other opportunities that are opening up. There's a lot of work that potentially needs to be done, and India is always amazing to come back to, whether it's the north or the south. There's incredible people here. There's incredible experiences, and so if you haven't been here, make your way to India, make a trip, and check out one of the many amazing regions, amazing places, business locations. And if you want to set up a business, you want to expand, then India is definitely a place you should be looking at, because of the mere potential that it has to help you grow, to help you do things in a different way. So here I am. My name is Ian Khan. Please follow me on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook at Ian Khan Futurist, and I come to you with my insights, my observations through my vlog in a casual way. Check out my website at iankhan.com, and tell me what you think, tell me what you feel are the challenges of your industry, and maybe we can have a meaningful conversation. For now, take care, and I'll see you soon. So my amazing driver, Mr. Kantaraj, is driving me to the airport, and we are headed off to the Kempegowda airport here in the morning. And there's a lot of traffic on the roads, but hey, we're gonna make our way down there. Although it's Saturday, it's still a busy day here in Bangalore. So here's a quick travel trip for you if you are in India. India is really huge. Okay, India is super huge, and every region has its own language. Every region has its own cuisine. You might go from one city to the other, and things might dramatically change. So please be ready for that. As you talk about India or come to India, if you haven't, please don't generalize India by saying, you know, this is India, because people are different everywhere. As an example, the language that's spoken here in Bengaluru is completely different from that's spoken in Mumbai, or that's spoken in Delhi or Calcutta. 4 completely different languages. And so please be culturally sensitive to not generalize Indian people by saying, okay, everybody's the same and Indian food is the same. Indian food is at least of 20 different varieties, and you've got to be very specific about, is it South Indian food, is it North Indian food, or is it Eastern or Western food? And even within those, there's so many differences. So definitely it's an overload of multiculturalism, of different languages, different cultures. And if you're traveling to India, then keep that in mind, that every region is difficult, and do some research before you come here. I've spent a lot of time here, not now, but in the past, and the South is an amazing region. It's got a lot of diversity, even though it's got a lot of similarities culturally, but the languages are different between Tamil, Kannada, Telugu, and Malayalam. These are 4 different languages here, and there's regional dialects, there's other things that are happening, there's cultural differences as well, and yeah, that's it. So if you're in Bengaluru, tell people Yin Samachara, and that's your introduction to them by saying hello. So you say Yin Samachara, which means what's up, what's the news, what's the crack, and that's the way to say hello. So take care. I see the world in a different way, and you need to see what I see. We must recognize that we came from a very good place. As humans, as people, as a society, as a race, we've been amazing so far, and we should love us. But nothing remains the same forever. Things change, seasons change, life changes, and change is a constant. We live on the belief that tomorrow will be better, don't we all? Isn't that why we live, why we survive, why we build, and why we dream? The future is approaching us very fast. This is a technology-driven future, a future of rapid change. But this is not necessarily a bad thing, because it brings with it a huge transformation and a new era in human history. To get there, we must walk on a specific path, and not just choose short-term happiness, but create sustainable success. We must start thinking differently, start thinking loud, start thinking big. The time to do that is now, right now, because tomorrow is being created right this moment. This is the future where people will be happier, healthier, live longer, and stronger. My name is Ian Khan, and I'm driven to unlocking your potential by showing you what the future holds and to help you get there with a proven process for success. My work as an author and a documentary filmmaker helps me convey ideas that can create real impact. Over the last 20 years, I have worked with hundreds of organizations in helping them understand the future and how to succeed. I've worked across the world, from Dubai to Denmark and Seoul to San Francisco, challenging CEOs, challenging heads of departments and governments in pushing their limits to think differently. Using a proven methodology of the 7 axioms of value creation as a foundation and deriving insights from rapidly evolving technologies such as artificial intelligence, blockchain, the Internet of Things, and more, I can help you understand the future of industry. Come join me. Let's build the future together, right now, right here, today.